Welcome everybody, this is Alan with Daily Armor of God. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well. This is the Old Testament in 88 days. We're on day 12. And today we'll be reading Leviticus 6 through 13. So let's go ahead and get started with some more Leviticus. Yeah. All about offerings and all that fun stuff. Very, very complicated stuff, the law. Everything about the law. So complicated and hard. Alright, Leviticus 6, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, If a soul sin and commit a trespass against Yahweh, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or hath deceived his neighbor, or hath found that which was lost, and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely in any of all these that a man doeth, sinning therein. Then shall it be, because he hath sinned in it, and is guilty, that he shall restore the thing which he took violently away, or the thing which he hath deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, or all that about which he hath sworn falsely. He shall even restore it unto the principal, and shall add the fifth part more thereto, and give it unto him whom it appertaineth, in the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Yahweh, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before Yahweh, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he hath done in trespassing therein. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. It is a burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar all night unto the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be burning in it. He shall put on his linen garment, and linen breeches shall he put upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire hath consumed with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes without the camp into a clean place. The fire upon the altar shall be burning in it, and shall not be put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order upon it, and he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar, and shall never go out. And this is the law of the meat offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before Yahweh before the altar, and he shall take of it his handful of the flour of the meat offering, and of the oil thereof, and all the frankincense which is upon the meat offering. He'll burn it upon the altar for a sweet savor, even the memorial of it unto Yahweh. And the remainder thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat. With unleavened bread shall it be eaten in the holy place. In the court of the tabernacle of the congregation shall they eat it, and shall not be baken with leaven. I have given it unto them for their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is most holy, as is the sin offering, and as the trespass offering. All the males among the children of Aaron shall eat of it. It shall be a statute forever in your generations concerning the offerings of Yahweh made by fire. Everyone that toucheth them shall be holy. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto Yahweh in the day when he is anointed. The 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a meat offering perpetual, half of it in the morning, half thereof at night. In a pan it shall be made with oil, and when it is baken, thou shalt bring it in, and the baken pieces of the meat offering shalt thou offer for a sweet savor unto Yahweh. And the priest of his sons that is anointed in his stead shall offer it. It is a statute forever unto Yahweh. It shall be wholly burnt. For every meat offering for the priest shall be wholly burnt, it shall not be eaten. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed shall the sin offering be killed before Yahweh. It is most holy. The priest that offer it for a sin shall eat it. In the holy place shall it be eaten in the court of the tabernacle of the congregation. Whosoever shall touch the flesh thereof shall be holy. And when there is sprinkled of the blood thereof upon any garment, thou shalt wash that whereon it was sprinkled in the holy place. But the earthen vessels wherein it is sodden shall be broken, and if it be sodden in a brassen pot, it shall be both scoured, and rinsed in water. All the males among the priests shall eat thereof, it is most holy. And no sin offering whereof any of the blood is brought into the tabernacle of the congregation to reconcile withal in the holy place shall be eaten, it shall be burnt in the fire. So the sin offerings don't get eaten, okay, but the other ones do. Leviticus 7. Likewise, this is the law of the trespass offering, it is most holy. In the place where they kill the burnt offering shall they kill the trespass offering, and the blood thereof shall he sprinkle round about upon the altar. And he shall offer of it all the fat thereof, the rump, and the fat that covereth inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul that is above the liver, with the kidneys it shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar for an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. It is a trespass offering. Every male among the priests shall eat thereof. It shall be eaten in the holy place. It is most holy. As the sin offering is, so is the trespass offering. There is one law for them. The priest shall make atonement therewith, shall have it. The priest that offereth any man's burnt offering, even the priest shall have to himself the skin of the burnt offering which he hath offered. And all the meat offering that is baked in the oven, and all that is dressed in the frying pan, and in the pan shall be the priest that offereth it. And every meat offering mingled with oil and dry shall all the sons of Aaron have, one as much as the other. And this is the law of the sacrifice of peace offerings, which he shall offer unto Yahweh. If he offer it for a thanksgiving, then he shall offer with the sacrifice of thanksgiving unleavened cakes mingled with oil, and unleavened wafers anointed with oil, and cakes mingled with oil of fine flour fried. Besides the cakes he shall offer for his offering leavened bread with the sacrifice of thanksgiving of his peace offerings, and of it he shall offer one out of the whole oblation for a heave offering unto Yahweh, and it shall be the priests that sprinkle the blood of the peace offerings. And the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings for thanksgiving shall be eaten the same day that it is offered. He shall not leave any of it until the morning. But if the sacrifice of his offering be a vow or a voluntary offering, it shall be eaten the same day that he offereth his sacrifice, and on the morrow also the remainder of it shall be eaten. But the remainder of the flesh of the sacrifice on the 3rd day shall be burnt with fire. And if any of the flesh of the sacrifice of his peace offering be eaten at all on the 3rd day, it shall not be accepted, neither shall it be imputed unto him that offereth. It shall be an abomination, and the soul that eateth of it shall bear his iniquity. And the flesh that toucheth any unclean thing shall not be eaten. It shall be burnt with fire, and as for the flesh, all that be clean shall eat thereof. But the soul that eateth of the flesh of the sacrifice of the peace offerings that pertain unto Yahweh, having his uncleanness upon him, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, the soul that shall touch any unclean thing, as the uncleanness of man, or any unclean beast, or any abominable unclean thing, and eat of the flesh of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which pertain unto Yahweh, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, Ye shall eat no manner of fat of ox, of sheep, or of goat, and the fat of the beast that dieth of itself, and the fat of that which is torn with beasts may be used in any other use, but ye shall in no wise eat of it. Whosoever eateth of the fat of the beast of which men offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, even the soul that eateth it shall be cut off from his people. Moreover, ye shall eat no manner of blood, whether it be fowl or a beast, or of any of your dwellings. Whatsoever soul it be that eateth any manner of blood, even that soul shall be cut off from his people. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, He that offereth the sacrifice of his peace offerings unto Yahweh shall bring his oblation unto Yahweh of the sacrifice of his peace offerings. His own hand shall bring the offerings of Yahweh made by fire, the fat with the breast, it shall he bring, and that the breast may be waved for a wave offering before Yahweh. And the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breastplate shall be Aaron's and his son. And the right shoulder shall ye give unto the priest for an heave offering of the sacrifices of your peace offerings. He among the sons of Aaron that offereth the blood of the peace offerings and of the fat shall have the right shoulder for his part. The wave breast and the heave shoulder have I taken of the children of Israel from the sacrifices and of their peace offerings, and have given them unto Aaron the priest and unto his sons by statute forever from among the children of Israel. This is the portion of the anointing of Aaron and of the anointing of his sons out of their offerings of Yahweh made by fire in the day when he presented them to minister unto Yahweh in the priest's office, which Yahweh commanded to be given them of the children of Israel in the day that he anointed them by a statute forever throughout their generations. This is the law of the burnt offering, of the meat offering, of the sin offering, and of the trespass offering, and of the consecrations, and of the sacrifice of the peace offerings, which Yahweh commanded Moses in Mount Sinai in the day that he commanded the children of Israel to offer their oblations unto Yahweh in the wilderness of Sinai. Leviticus 8. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and a bullock for the sin offering, and 2 rams, and a basket of unleavened bread, and gather thou all the congregation together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Moses did as Yahweh commanded him, and the assembly was gathered together unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Moses said unto the congregation, This is the thing which Yahweh commanded to be done. And Moses brought Aaron and his sons, and washed them with water. And he put upon him the coat, and girded him with the girdle, and clothed him with the robe, and put the ephod upon him, and he girded him with the curious girdle of the ephod, and bound it unto him therewith. And he put the breastplate upon him. Also he put in the breastplate the Urim and the Thummim. And he put the meat tray upon his head, also upon the mixture, even upon his forefront. He put the golden plate, the holy crown, as Yahweh commanded Moses. Moses took the anointing oil and anointed his tabernacle, and all that was therein, and sanctified them. And he sprinkled thereof upon the altar 7 times, and he anointed the altar and all his vessels, both the laver and his foot, to sanctify them. And he poured of the anointing oil upon Aaron's head, and anointed him to sanctify him. And Moses brought Aaron's sons, and put coats upon them, and girded them with girdles, and put bonnets upon them, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And he brought the bullock for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the bullock for the sin offering. And he slew it, and Moses took the blood, and put it upon the horns of the altar round about with his finger, and purified the altar, and poured the blood at the bottom of the altar. It was sanctified to make reconciliation upon it. And he took all the fat that was upon the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and Moses burned it upon the altar. Let the bullock and his hide, his flesh, and his dung be burnt with fire without the camp, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And he brought the lamb for the burnt offering. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram. And he killed it, and Moses sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. He cut the ram into pieces, and Moses burnt the head and the pieces and the fat. And he washed the inwards and the leg in water, and Moses burnt the whole ram upon the altar. And it was a burnt sacrifice for a sweet savor, and an offering made by fire unto Yahweh, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And he brought the other ram, the ram of consecration. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon the head of the ram, and he slew it. And Moses took of the blood of it, and put it upon the tip of Aaron's right ear, and upon the thumb of his right hand, and upon the great toe of his right foot. And he brought Aaron's sons and Moses put of the blood upon the tip of their right ear, and upon the thumbs of their right hands, and upon the great toes of their right feet. And Moses sprinkled the blood upon the altar round about. And he took the fat and the rump and all the fat that was upon the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and their fat, and the right shoulder. And out of the basket of unleavened bread that was way before Yahweh, he took 1 unleavened cake and a cake of oiled bread, and 1 wafer, and put them on the fat and upon the right shoulder. And he put all upon Aaron's hands and upon his son's hands, and waved them for a wave offering before Yahweh. Moses took them from off their hands and burnt them on the altar upon the burnt offering. They were consecrations for a sweet savor. It is an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And Moses took the breast and waved it for a wave offering before Yahweh. For the ram of consecration, it was Moses' part, as for Yahweh commanded Moses. And Moses took of the anointing oil and of the blood which was upon the altar, and sprinkled it on Aaron and upon his sons, on his sons' garments with him, and sanctified Aaron in his garments and his garments, and his sons' garments with him. And Moses said unto Aaron and to his sons, Boil the flesh at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and there eat it with the bread that is in the basket of consecrations, as I commanded, saying, Aaron and his sons shall eat it. That which remaineth of the flesh of the bread shall ye burn it with fire. Ye shall not go out the door of the tabernacle of the congregation in 7 days, until the days of your consecration be at an end. For 7 days shall he consecrate you, and he hath done this day, so Yahweh hath commanded you to do, to make an atonement for you. Therefore shall ye abide at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation day and night 7 days, and keep the charge of Yahweh, that he die not. For so I am commanded. So Aaron and his sons did all things according which Yahweh commanded by the hand of Moses. Okay, Leviticus 9, verse 1. It came to pass on the 8th day that Moses called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel, and he said unto Aaron, Take thee a young calf for a sin offering, and a ram for a burnt offering without blemish, and offer them to be Yahweh. Offer them before Yahweh. And to the children of Israel thou shalt speak, saying, Take ye a kid of the goats for a sin offering, and cancel a calf and a lamb, both of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, also a bull and a ram for peace offerings to sacrifice before Yahweh, and a meat offering mingled with oil. For today Yahweh will appear unto you. And they brought that which Moses commanded before the tabernacle of the congregation, and all the congregation drew near and stood before Yahweh. And Moses said, This is the thing which Yahweh commanded that ye should do, and the glory of Yahweh shall appear unto you. And Moses said unto Aaron, Go unto the altar, and offer thy sin offering and thy burnt offering, and make people go. And offer the offering of the people to make an atonement for them, as Yahweh commanded. Aaron therefore went unto the altar, and slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself. The sons of Aaron brought the blood unto him, and he dipped his finger in the blood, and upon it the horns of the altar, and poured out the blood at the bottom of the altar. But the fat, the kidneys, and the caul above the liver of the sin offering he burnt upon the altar, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And the flesh and the hide he burnt with fire without the camp, and he slew the burnt offering, and Aaron's sons presented unto him the blood which he sprinkled round about upon the altar. And they presented the burnt offering unto him, with the pieces thereof in the head, and he burnt them upon the altar. And he did wash the inwards and the legs, and burnt them upon the burnt offering on the altar. And he brought the people's offering, and took the goat which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and offered it for sin as the first. And he brought the burnt offering, and offered it according to the manner. He brought the meat offering, and took a handful thereof, and burnt it upon the altar beside the burnt sacrifice in the morning. And he slew also the bullock and the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings, which was for the people. And Aaron's sons presented unto him the blood which he sprinkled upon the altar, beside the burnt offering and the sacrifice of the morning. Okay, I said that. Which he sprinkled on the altar round about. Okay. And the fat of the bullock and of the ram, the rump, and that which covereth the inwards, and the kidneys, and the caul above the liver. Man, there's so much like stuff repeating. It's getting confusing. So much stuff is repeating. And he put the fat upon the breast, and he burnt the fat upon the altar. The breast and the right shoulder Aaron weighed for a wave offering before Yahweh, as Moses commanded. And Aaron lifted up his hand toward the people, and blessed them, and came down from the offering of the sin offering, and the burnt offering, and the peace offerings. And Moses and Aaron went into the tabernacle of the congregation, and came out, and blessed the people, and the glory of Yahweh appeared unto all the people. And there came a fire out from before Yahweh, and consumed upon the altar the burnt offering and the fat, which when all the people saw, they shouted and fell on their faces. Leviticus 10. And Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took either of them his censer, and put fire therein, and put incense therein, and offered strange fire before Yahweh, which he commanded them not. And there went out fire from Yahweh, and devoured them, and they died before Yahweh. And Moses said unto Aaron, This is that the Yahweh spake, saying, I will be sanctified in them that come nigh me, and before all the people I will be glorified. And Aaron held his peace. And Moses called Mishael and Elizaphan, the sons of Uzziel, the uncle of Aaron, and said unto them, Come near, carry your brethren from before the sanctuary out of the camp. So they went near, and carried them in their coats out of the camp. And Moses said, and Moses said unto Aaron, and unto Eleazar, and unto Ithamar his sons, Uncover not your heads, neither rend your clothes, lest ye die, and lest wrath come upon all the people. But let your brethren, the whole house of Israel, bewail the burning which Yahweh hath kindled. Ye shall not go out from the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. And for they did according to the word of Moses. And Yahweh spake unto Aaron, saying, We do not drink wine nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations, that ye may put differences between holy and unholy, and between unclean and clean, and that ye may teach the children of Israel all the statutes which Yahweh hath commanded unto them by the hand of Moses. Leviticus 11. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are in the field. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud, among the beasts that shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof like a camel. Because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And a coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divide not your yogi. Divideth not the hoof, because he is unclean. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And the swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall eat ye. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, and of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall be even an abomination to you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. Ye shall not be eaten, they are an abomination. The eagle, the ossifrag, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven after his kind, and the owl, the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gyre, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. And all fowls that creep upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every living creature, may eat of every flying creature, thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat. The locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you, and for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean unto the even. Whatsoever beareth out of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. The carcass of every beast which divideth the hoof, and is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all 4, those are unclean unto you. Whosoever toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even, when they are unclean to you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, and the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whatsoever doth touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening. And upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood, or raiment, or skin, or sack, whatever that material is. Or whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, must be put into water, and shall be unclean unto the even, so it shall be cleansed. And every earthen vessel whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean, and every thing whereupon any part of their carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit, wherein there is plenty of water, shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, and part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean unto the even. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean unto the even. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes and be unclean unto the even. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth up upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all fours, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am Yahweh your Elohim. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am Yahweh that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt, to be your Elohim. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beasts, and of the fowl, and every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Leviticus 12. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed, and born a man-child, and she shall be unclean 7 days, according to the days of the separation of her infirmity shall she be unclean. And in the 8th day the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised, and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 3 days. She shall touch no hallowed thing, nor come into the sanctuary, until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying 6 days. 66 days. And when the days of her purifying are fulfilled, for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering, unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, unto the priest. Who shall offer it before Yahweh, and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for her that hath borne a male or a female. And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles, or 2 young pigeons, the one for the burnt offering, and the other for a sin offering, and the priest shall make an ointment for her, and she shall be clean. Leviticus 13. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, When a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto his sons the priests. The priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look on him. I don't know if you're supposed to. The plague in sight be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy, and the priest shall look upon him and pronounce him unclean. If the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and the sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague 7 days. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day, and behold, the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin. The priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he hath seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. If the priest see that, behold, the scab spreadeth in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leprosy. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. And if a leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that hath the plague from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh, then the priest shall consider, and behold, if leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white, he is clean. But when raw flesh appeareth in him, he shall be unclean, and the priest shall see the raw flesh, and pronounce him to be unclean, for the raw flesh is unclean. It is leprosy. Or if the raw flesh turn again, and be changed into white, he shall come unto the priest, and the priest shall see him. And behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague, and he is clean. The flesh also, in which even the skin thereof was a boil, and is headed, and in the place of the boil there be a white rising, or a small bright spot, white and somewhat reddish, and it be shewed to the priests. And if, when the priest seeth it, behold, it be in the sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out in the boil. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. And if it is spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. But if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not, it is a burning boil, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Or if there be any flesh in the skin whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white, then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be in a sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning, whereof the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. Man, it sounds so gross. These last 3 chapters are gross, just visualizing this. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. The priest shall look upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. And if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation of the burning. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head or beard, then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry skull, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. And if the priest look on the plague of the skull, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and there be no that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that hath the plague of the skull 7 days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the skull spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the skull be not in sight deeper than the skin, He shall be shaven, but the skull shall he not shave, and the priest shall shut him up that hath the skull 7 days more. And the 7th day the priest shall look on the skull, and behold, if the skull be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and more, and be clean. But if the skull spread much in the skin after his cleansing, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the skull be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair, he is unclean. But if the skull be in his sight at a stay, and that there is a black hair growing up therein, the skull is healed, he is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. If a man also or woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spots, even white bright spots, and the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spots in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is freckled spot that groweth in the skin, he is clean. And the man whose hair is fallen off his head, he is bald, yet he is clean. And he that hath his finger fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is forehead bald, yet he is clean. And if there be in the bald head or bald forehead a white reddish sore, it is leprosy sprung up in his bald head, or his bald forehead. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head, or in his bald forehead, the leprosy appeareth in the skin of the flesh. He is a leprous man, and he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean, his plague in his head. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, and his head bare, and he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean. All the days wherein the plague shall be in him shall be defiled, he is unclean, he shall dwell alone, without the camp shall his habitation be. The garment also that the plague of leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment or a linen garment, whether it be in the wrap or woof of linen or woolen, whether in a skin or in anything made of skin. And if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the warp or in the woof or in anything of skin, it is a plague of leprosy, and it shall be shewed unto the priest. And the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it that hath the plague 7 days. And he shall look on the plague on the 7th day, and if the plague be spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in a skin, or in any work that is made of skin, the plague is a fretting leprosy, it is unclean, and shall therefore burn that garment, whether warp or woof, if in woolen or in linen, or anything of skin, wherein the plague is, for it is a fretting leprosy, it shall be burnt in the fire. And if the priest shall look, and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either in the warp or in the woof, or in anything of the skin, then the priest shall command that they wash the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on the plague after that it is washed, and behold, if the plague have not changed its color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean, thou shalt burn it in the fire. It is fret inward, whether it be bare within or without. And if the priest took, and behold, the plague be somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall rend it out of the garment, or out of the skin, or out of the warp, or out of the woof. And if it appear still in the garment, either the warp or in the woof, or in any skin, it is spreading plague, thou shalt burn that wherein the plague is with fire. And the garment, either warp or woof, or whatsoever thing the skin it be, which thou shalt wash, if the plague be departed from them, then it shall be washed the 2nd time, it shall be clean. This is the law of the plagues of leprosy, in a garment of woolen linen, either in the warp or woof, or anything of skins, to pronounce it clean or to pronounce it unclean. Wow. Okay. That one was a long one and kind of hard to follow, but made it through. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great evening, morning, noon, wherever you're at. And as always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Take care. God bless. Remember to put God first in everything you do. Have faith in Him. Have trusted Him. Wait upon Him. You'll never be sorry. We'll see you tomorrow, God willingly, with more Leviticus. Thanks again. See you later.